Okay, so we are going to look at lesson 4.2, which is multiply by fives and tens. Now, multiplying by fives and tens is actually super fun and super easy. We know how to skip count by fives and we know how to skip count by tens. So last lesson we looked at twos and fours. We know twos or fours are just doubled what two is because four is two doubled. So we're gonna look at multiplying by fives and tens. So unlocking the problem. Marcel is making 6 toy banjos. He needs 5 strings for each banjo. So he's making 6 toy banjos and he needs 5 strings for each banjo. How many strings does he need in all? How many strings? So how many banjos is Marcel making? He's making 6 banjos. And how many strings does each banjo have? 5 strings. Those are the two numbers we're looking at. 6 and 5. Let me move my microphone a little bit closer. So honestly, what we're going to do is we're going to skip count 5 until we say 6 numbers. So 5 makes 1. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. One number, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It ends on 30. So 6 times 5 is 30. So Marcel needs 30 strings in all. 30 strings. Number 2. It says we're going to, let's say each string is 10 inches long. How many inches will he use? So we know we have 5 strings in each string. So we got to have 5 jumps of 10. So one jump's going to be, we'll draw 5 jumps for 5 strings, jump 10 spaces each time. So 5 jumps, each 10. So one jump, 10. 2 jumps, 20. 3 jumps, 30. 4 jumps, 40. And 5 jumps make 50. So we're going to land on 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So 5 times 10 makes 50. The numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 are multiples of 10. So Marcel will use 50 inches of string because that's where it ends on. 50 inches of string. And remember, make sure we can pause this one because hopefully this one's going to be on YouTube as well. Marcel bought 3 packs of strings. Each cost 10 cents. Each package cost 10 cents. How much did he spend in all? So there's 1 pack, 2 pack, and 3 pack. They each cost 10. So 10, 20, 30. 3 units makes 3 times 10. Record this, which is 3 times 10, which equals 30. So each package's a strange cost 30 cents. 30 cents. That one's pretty repetitive. That one repeats itself, but next 2. How can we use this number line to show 8 times 5? Well, we know we're going to do the first number is jumps. So we're going to do 8 jumps of 5. So first jump is going to be 5. That's 1 jump. 10, 2, 15, 3, 20, which is 4, 25, which is 5, 30, which is 6, 35, which is 7 jumps, and 40, which is 8 jumps. These are 8 jumps. We jump the same amount each time. So we jump 8 times. I don't like that. We jump 8 times 5 each jump. So we jump 8 times with 5 each jump. This, guys, you guys can do by yourself. Actually, no, I'll let you guys do the on your own part by your. No, I'll do that all with you. So 2 times 5, skip count 2 5 times, 5 2 times, you got 10. 10 times 6, 60. 5 times 5, skip count 5 5 times, you get 25. 10 times 7, 70. I will let you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 all by yourself. So pause this video real quick and go through that. Check your answers with me because I'm going to do them. So pause real quick, do them, and then check and see what I write down because I'm going to solve it after you pause. So pause it. And then when you come back, these should be your answers. These should be your answers. Hopefully you paused it. Hopefully you're not cheating. And voila. So if you paused it and you got all these answers, good. If you didn't, correct it. On your end part, I want you guys to do the same thing for 14 through 27. 14 through 27. Pause the video right now just for a minute, just to go through and actually see if you guys can figure these out and see if you're understanding it. Or if you don't get one, do what you can get and then circle the ones you don't understand and then check and then see how I do it. So pause it right now. And then when you come back, you'll see the actual answers. So pause. And if you're on pause right now, these should be the answers. 5, 10 times 2 is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. 10 times 10 is 100. 10 times 0 is 0. 10 times 5 is 50. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 9 is 45. 4 times 3, which is a review, which is 12. 5 times 0 is 0. 4 times 8, that's a tough one. It's 32. And 10 times 5 is 50. And 26, you have 3 groups with 5 in each group. Let's give you 15 total. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 groups of 3, which equals 30. All right, 28 and 29. Marcel played 5 songs on a banjo. Each song lasted 8 minutes. How long did he play? So we have 5 boxes for 5 songs, and they all lasted the same, 8 minutes. So we have our equation, 5 groups of 8. We skip count 5 8 times. You got 40 minutes. There are 6 banjo players. If each player needs 10 sheets of music, how many sheets of music do you need? So we have 6 spots for 6 banjo players. I'm actually going to circle how many. I want you guys to do that too. So go back and do it on both because we have to start learning we have to learn how to do this. How long did he play? So 6 banjos with 10 each. So 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10. So we have 6 equal groups with 10 in each group. 6 times 10 equals 60 sheets. $30 and $31. They're go deeper questions, so we know they're going to be a little tough. Chris has 5 stacks of DVDs on a shelf. Each stack has 10 DVDs. If he adds 2 more identical stacks of DVDs on a shelf, how many DVDs will Chris have? So initially, he has 5 stacks with 10 in it. And I know I can figure that out right now. 5 times 10, that's 50. He has 50 DVDs. But he adds 2 more stacks of the same amount. So now we have 2 times 10, which is it's 20 DVDs. 50 plus 20, if we do mental math, we know that now Chris has 70 DVDs. You also could have took 5 and 2, because 5 stacks and he added 2 more stacks, made 7. Let's make 7 times 10, which also is 70. So you could have done it either way. Mark is making 10 kites. He uses 5 yards of ribbon for each kite. He already has made 2 of the kites. How many yards of ribbon will he need to make the rest? So he's making 10 kites, and they're each going to be, 5 yards long. So I know 10 times 5 is 50. So he's really going to need 50. But he's already made 2 of the kites. So he's already made 2 of the 10 kites. So we got to see what else does he need. So 2 times 5 is 10. So if he's already used 10 yards of the ribbon, how much more does he need? Well, 50 minus 10 is 40 yards. 40 yards. You also could have done it like this. Instead of doing 10 times 5 and 2 times 5, you could have said he's making 10 kites, but he's used 2 of them already. So 10 minus 2 is 8. And 8 times 5 will also equal 40. They won't let me write outside the page. Okay. So you could have done either way. I'm just showing the two different equations that should be in the problem or that you should see. Number 32, we're going to use this chart. It's a frequency chart, so it's already been decoded for us. 32 says, John and his dad own 7 banjos. They want to replace the strings on all of them. How many strings should they buy? We have to write the multiplication sentence. So John and his dad own 7 banjos. They have 7 banjos. And how many strings are on a banjo? 5. So 7 banjos times 5. If we do the math, skip count 5 7 times, you'll get 30 strings. So they have to buy 30 strings. Mr. Lemick has 5 guitars, 4 banjos, and 2 mandolins. What is the total number of strings that Mr. Lemick, or strings on Mr. Lemick's instruments? So this is going to be a tough one. Let's do guitars first. So I'm going to put a G for guitar. And that is, he has 5 guitars. And guitars have 6 strings on it. So his guitars, 5 times 6, we're going to come up with 30. Oh, then I'm sorry. This isn't 30. This is 35. I don't know what I was thinking. 35. All right. So he has 30 strings on his guitars. Banjos. He has 4 banjos. So B for banjos. He has 4 banjos, and they have 5 strings on each. What's 4 times 5? If we skip count 5 4 times, you're going to get 20. Lastly, his mandolins. I'm going to put an M for mandolin. He has 2 mandolins with 8 strings on each. And if I skip count 8 times, we're going to get 16. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to take all these numbers. Guitar has 30 strings. Banjo has 20, and mandolin has 16. We're going to take 30, 20, and 16. We have to know how much he has in all, so we're going to have to add them. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is, or 0 plus 0 plus 6 is 6. 3 plus 2 plus 1 is also 6. So final answer is 66 strings. Just like that. That was a super, super tough one. That takes a lot of reading and a lot of multi-equations. Look at all these equations we just made. That's a ton. The Think Smarter question. The orchestra has 5 violins, 3 guitars that need new strings. What is the total number of strings that need to be replaced? Well, let's find violins, and then let's find guitars. So violins, they have 5 of them, and guitars, they have 3 of them. So a violin has 4 strings, so times 4, and a guitar has 6 strings times 6. So 5 times 4 equals 20, and 3 times 6 equals 18. Now we got to find the total number that needs replaced, so we just add these up. You have 38 strings. If you do it just like this, that pretty much explains it to me. That's another multi-step equation. What's the error? So there's a problem. There's an error in this problem. There's a mistake. Mr. James has 3 banjos. Mr. Lewis has 5 times the number of banjos that Mr. James has. Riley says Mr. Lewis has 12 banjos. Describe the error. So Mr. James has 3 banjos. And Mr. Lewis has 5 times the number. So Mr. James has 3. And Mr. Lewis has 5 times what Mr. James has. So 5 times what Mr. James has, 5 times is 15. So Riley says Mr. Lewis only has 12 banjos. Does Mr. Lewis have 12 banjos? No. He has 15. So what Riley did was Riley meant 12 more banjos. What Riley did was take 15 minus 3 and got 12. So although Mr. Lewis has 12 more banjos than Mr. James, Mr. Lewis actually has 15 banjos. So Riley meant 12 more banjos. Mr. Lewis has 15. So Riley said Mr. Lewis has 12 banjos. So that's wrong. He has 12 more banjos. Mr. Lewis actually owns 15 banjos. Circle the number that completes the sentence. Pause it real quick. See if you get it right. If you unpause, the right answer is 9. So this also, again, should be a pretty quick and easy lesson. All right. Estimate here. We have to round. 479 is between 400 and 500. Right off the bat, I know 89 is going to round to 100, not 0. So you pick this and add them together and tell me what you might get. Other than that, you guys have a good one.